I was fortunate enough to get Bravo Blue. He was like, I'd seen the horse show for a few years, and he really didn't show all that much. By the time I got him, I think he had only shown 6 times in his life, and he was 8 years old when I got him. So we got to show him. I got to show him in, let's see, 2011. And we were a little bit prepared, but not quite prepared. I didn't know him that well. And we went in the ring, and he was second in the gelding stake, and then was third or fourth back in the championship. But like I said, again, I'd only had probably about 9 months with him at that point. He came to me with an injury. The thing I liked about the horse is that he remembered from day to day what he was taught, although he was very, very game. And unlike a predecessor that I had called Boucheron, he did not remember from day to day what to do. And it was always a guessing game with Boucheron, but not with Bravo Blue. Once we got him figured out and got his shoeing lined up, thanks to the great Willem and Farrier service, and Bud watched him and worked on him, and we finally got him balanced. And so this year was we went into the season with I was very confident with him, and like Sarah said, I felt no pressure this year at any of the shows I went to with him. I know he knew what to do. Regardless of what the outcome would be at the World's Championships, we were going to have a good ride and have some fun, and I really did have some fun on him this year.
Tell us about Boucheron.
Tell you about Boucheron.
You don't have enough time.
Yeah, about Boucheron. This would be for the from the Undulata to Versailles ride, I think. But Boucheron, you know, he was a horse. I think he was a paranoid schizophrenic, number one, and but he was a sweetheart of a horse. He loved people. He was good in his stall. He'd follow you around without a lead shank. I could take him over in my backyard and turn him loose on Sundays when we're at the pool. And I bought him. He was kind of the successor to Face Card, and somebody said, "Is he the heir apparent?" And I said, "Well, I hope so." And as a 3-year-old, he was undefeated, and as a 4-year-old, he was undefeated. And at the end of his 4-year-old year, the only time he had shown twice in his life was at Louisville in the junior geldings and then the junior stake at Louisville. So I said, well, we got to kind of prepare for the next season a little bit. You got to learn to go twice more often. So we took him to Ashab that year, and I had another junior horse, so I showed him open, and he wanted Ashab, and then we went to Kansas City, and he won both classes at Kansas City. The world's champion that year was Red's horse. Now I can't remember his name, but I even had him at one point. But from South, that's Zaborevich, Commander-in-Chief. And it was a small, but Kansas City was kind of a small ring for Boucheron, but he seemed to like it. After that, we started the 5-year-old year, and things just kind of went south, and I don't know why, but I could tell he was getting just a little bit tougher, and we did pretty well during the season. And we went to Asheville, and he was a little erratic at Asheville, and I should have known it was something to come after that, but I didn't, because the second class he went into and was a breeze and won the stake at Asheville. When we got into Louisville, he won the gelding stake, and all ready for we were pumped for that big stake. And we came down that ramp, and he hit that wall of noise, because he had a fan club from here to wherever, all around the world probably, and he hit that wall of noise, and it just blew his mind. I mean, totally blew his mind. And I was like, I didn't know what was going to, what he was doing. I didn't know what to do. I was helpless. So from then on, it seemed to be a long road to hoe. And we would make hit or miss shows. One year I didn't show him at all. One year I called the psychic to see what was going on. I'd never done that before in my life. She told me some things that made my hair stand on end, but couldn't offer any real suggestions on how to train him. But it was just kind of a fun thing to do. I did everything I knew how to do. When I always say, and I read a book one time by Colonel Podasky, who was the head of the Spanish Riding School, and it was called My Horses, My Teachers. Well, that's what my horses have been to me, and especially this one. I mean, he made you think out of the box. I mean, way out of the box. And I don't know who lost more sleep, that horse or me, but I think he slept fine. I didn't. I didn't. And there was one point, it even got to the point where, okay, somebody's got to take a bullet. It's going to be me or you. I don't know who it's going to be. But we persevered, and finally, one year I'd had enough of him, and I said, you're going out and you're going to learn how to live outside. And I kicked his butt outside all winter. And I'd feel sorry for her. One night, it was Thanksgiving night, and she had home with her parents, and it was sleeting and raining, and it was cold, and I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and I was going, should I get him in? Should I get him in? And I went out and got him in. And, yeah, I gave up, and then the sucker wouldn't let me catch him, and so I finally called him, I got him inside, and the next day I put him out again, and I know you're out. And he was out. We had a little white pony that went, Palomino pony that went out with him.
That's Sparky.
It was Sparky? Okay. Well, the pony would eat Boucheron's gray. It would stand up on Boucheron's feed box was higher, of course, than the pony's, and the pony didn't eat that much. But he would chase him away from his hay, and Boucheron would give in. The pony would learn to stand on the rails of the fence to get up to his feed box and chase him away. And I just let him. I didn't feed him anymore. He got so thin. If ASPCA had seen him, they would have arrested me, I think. He looked terrible. He had rain rot on his back. And about February, during the convention, I had some people come out that were in the sport horse of our saddlebreds going that end of it, and they wanted to see him. And one of them I had known since she was a child, and I said, well, I'll take you around outside to see him, but you're probably not going to like what you see. And so I explained to them and everything what I was doing, and they understood. And I said, I apologize for his condition, but he's got to learn to fend for himself a little bit. And so it was kind of like a tough love thing. In April, I went out and was watching him eat, and he actually chased the pony away from his grain and his hay. And I said, now you can come inside. So he brought him inside and started to work him, and he was changed. And that year, he was very pliable. I don't know if he was so undernourished that he had to give in or what it was, but we started out at the Shelbyville Horse Show. He was still a little thin. Went to junior league, he was good there. He won the stake at junior league, and then on into Louisville. And the first class at Louisville, he was a little bit rammy when I hit the gate, and then he let go of his bridle.
Second entrance?
And then by the stake, I was going to what's going to happen when he hits that wall of noise again, because that's always in the back of your mind. And I just let go of the bridle and let him do his thing. He was a blast. I could do anything I wanted to with him. So that is basically the story about him at Louisville. And then probably the next year we went to Indianapolis in the spring, and he was better than he was at Louisville as far as performance goes, but he was on the edge too much for me. And after that, he just got a little bit uncontrollable. So let's just stop with this. I got in the ring at Louisville in the gelding stake, and we went to canter, and I've never had him run off at the canter, and he ran off with me at the canter. And so, whatever was going on with Boucheron, I still contend to this day he might have had a brain tumor when he died, and he died in his stall. He was paralyzed basically when I came over to the barn. The Mexicans had come in to feed the guys and had seen him and had told Keith back there that Boucheron no good, Boucheron no good. And he died, probably within 2 hours. It was very, very sad, because he was really nickering to every time you turn around to leave to get something, he'd want you to come back, but there was really nothing you could do. So I really contend that there was something wrong with him, and the autopsy or the necropsy did not go deep enough on the weekend to really find that. So, but that's the story of Boucheron, and like I say, he was an education for me, and I think has probably helped a lot of horses along the way since then. So.